Let's talk about your auntie intellectual.
I think it's a real trend in our society, and it really affects art that's available now. I think particularly British art. There's been a trend in British society where the idea of reading or researching or engaging with complex ideas is just completely alien to us now, and myself included. I don't think I'm any different. And I don't actually think it's a cultural thing. I think it's economics, right? I think we have to work more and more. We don't have space to be dealing with complex ideas. But if you speak to people of our parents' generation, there's like this real tradition of being like an autodidact, right? Like dad and your dad's mates who taught themselves these really complex ideas. But I think this becomes really apparent in art, British TV. It's just really, really simple. The ideas behind it are simple. It's not simple in a good way where it's accessible. Like you watch a detective program, the premise of so many of these things is, oh, there are woke people and traditional people, and there's a detective in the middle who's like, both of these guys are bad. And that, do you know what I mean? You see these really repetitive, unthoughtful tropes. And I think it's because people aren't engaging with thought. You know what I mean? I think there's been a narrowing of people who are going into the creative fields. Is mainly people who have
Got money to do it.
money. And listen, I didn't grow up poor at all, even though I didn't have money to do it. But I think there's been a real narrowing of the class background, a lot of people in the arts. So they're telling a really narrow type of story. And even when they're trying to tell a story which is relatable, they just don't actually have the lived experience to do so. And I suspect they also don't have the tools to research anthropologically how people live, right? So they're just like riffing on newspaper headlines. As well as a narrowing of types of people who are going into art, there's also been like a greater amount of art being produced, particularly TV. There's so much more. So it's like a smaller talent pool spread over too much.
Yeah.
But then I am bitter, as I said earlier. I'm very bitter.
Oh, it's good to be bitter.
I hope so.